What's your answer? Is it a substance or a mixture? If your answer is a mixture, then you are right. Why? Because salt water is a combination of salt and water. Of course, there are other elements or substances which can be found in our salt water, but we will discuss that further in other topics, not today. For number 2 and the rest, it's time for do it on your own. Good luck! How are mixtures different from substances, and how are they similar? Mixtures can be distinguished from substances by looking at their physical properties. These properties can be observed using our senses. Again, what are our senses? These are the sense of sight, hearing, smelling, tasting, or feeling. Let's try and do activity number 2. Have a copy of the table found in page 5 of your module. Place a check on the columns to indicate your observations. An example is already provided on the first 2 items as your guide. So table 1 are the properties of mixtures. We have in the first column the materials, second and third column the phases. Next is the appearance and the classification, whether it's a substance or a mixture. So from answering activity number 1 and 2, what have you learned? How can we classify mixtures from substances? How are they different? How are they similar? That's the difference between mixtures and substances. The following are some of the properties and characteristics of mixtures. Number 1, components. They retain its properties after combining them. For example, salt plus water equals salt-water mixtures. The salty taste identifies the salt as one of the components of the mixtures. Another is sand plus gravel. Sand and gravel mixture. So both components can be identified. The second property and characteristic is chemical system. Both are homogeneous and heterogeneous. A homogeneous system has one phase uniform in appearance. Example, salt plus water is sugar plus water, so the combination of salt and water or water and sugar is uniform all throughout in appearance. Can you think of other homogeneous system or mixtures? Please write your answers in the comment box below. The next is heterogeneous mixture. We can identify because there are 2 or more observable phases. Example is sand plus gravel. Sand and gravel mixture. You can identify sand from the gravel in the mixture. Second, sand plus water. Sand and water mixture. Third is oil plus water. Oil and water mixture. Third is boiling point. This may vary in a mixture. The boiling point of mixtures differ while the boiling point of substances is fixed. For example, pure water boils at 100 degrees Celsius. Water added with salt boils at 102 degrees Celsius. Fourth, can be separated by a physical process. Here are some of the ways we can separate mixtures. Decantation. The properties of mixtures are allowed to settle down and less dense particles are poured off. For example, cooking oil plus water. Cooking oil is less dense, hence it floats in water and can be poured off. Second is rice grain plus water. rice washing can be poured off. That is, when we are cooking rice. The next way to separate mixture is distillation. This involves the process of evaporation and condensation. First example is purifying seawater. As heat is applied, water evaporates and white crystals residues remain. So the residues is the salt. Another is alcohol in water. As heat is applied, alcohol is evaporated first while water remains. The next way, or the third way, is filtration. This is the process of separating filtrate from the residue by passing through the filter paper or strainer. Filtrate is the liquid that passes through the filter paper, and the residue is the solid which remains in the filter paper. For example, when we are cooking biko, we use coconut milk from the coconut pulp. Coconut milk passes through the strainer while coconut pulp or the sapal remains. On page 10. Let's prepare materials needed for our activity. We'll have 2 glasses of water, 5 tablespoons of salt, 2 pieces clean cans, tripod or arsugangan, matchsticks, and firewood. Oops! Wait a minute! Before we proceed with our activity, make sure that an adult is with you while you do the activity. Don't play with fire! Good job! So, from activity number 4, we have learned that mixtures can be separated physically by the use of heat or by heating it. Do you remember what type of a separating mixture it is? If your answer is evaporation, that's correct. We are now on activity number 5, what we have learned. So find the right word, the correct words to fill in the blanks on the given paragraph.